Hello, my friends. Today I'm going to tell you something that could transform your life, your health, your energy, and the way you feel inside your body. Something so powerful it's been hidden in plain sight for thousands of years. I'm talking about a natural oil that has the ability to reverse 20 years of wear, tear, and decline in just 1 week.
Yes, you heard me right. 1 week.
Now, I'm not here to sell you a miracle in a bottle. I'm here to give you science, ancient wisdom, and real results, backed by research, experience, and thousands of people around the world. My friends, I want to talk to you about something that's been buried in the past, overlooked in the present, what could be the key to your future health. Now, I'm not here to give you fluff. I'm not going to tell you to believe in miracles. I'm here to give you truth. I'm here to share something that has changed the lives of people who thought they were at the end of their road, people with chronic pain, brain fog, fatigue, inflammation, and diseases the doctors couldn't explain or fix. This is ancient wisdom backed by modern science, and I want you to listen carefully, because what you're going to hear today might just give you a second chance. Now, I want to ask you something. Have you ever wondered why our ancestors didn't suffer from the same chronic illnesses we see everywhere today? The constant inflammation, the brain fog, the fatigue, the gut issues, the skin problems, the arthritis, the hormonal imbalances.
These things were rare back then, but now they're almost normal.
And I'm going to tell you why, because modern medicine has become too focused on treating symptoms, not the root cause. The body is a miraculous system, my friends. It knows how to heal, but it needs the right tools.
And that's where this ancient oil comes in.
I'm talking about black seed oil, also known as Nigella sativa. Now, let me tell you something. This oil isn't new. It's been around for over 3,000 years. The ancient Egyptians used it. Cleopatra used it on her skin. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said it cures everything but death. That's a bold statement, right? But science is starting to see why. Now we're finally understanding how this simple, humble oil works. And it's incredible. This oil is a powerhouse, a natural anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, antioxidant. It supports the immune system, the nervous system, the digestive system, the respiratory system, and more. It contains a unique compound called thymoquinone, and this is where the magic happens. Thymoquinone goes deep inside the cells into the mitochondria, your cell's energy factories. And what it does is amazing. It helps your body reduce oxidative stress, clean out damaged cells, and boost the creation of new healthy cells. Let me put this in plain language. You see, over time, our body takes a beating from stress, poor diet, toxins, sedentary living, lack of sleep, and environmental chemicals. All that stuff leads to chronic inflammation. And inflammation is the real silent killer. It's behind almost every disease we face today: arthritis, diabetes, Alzheimer's, heart disease, even cancer. But black seed oil, it goes after that inflammation like a heat-seeking missile. Now I want you to imagine this. You've been living in a house that's been breaking down for 20 years. Leaky pipes, faulty wiring, cracked walls. You've patched it up here and there, maybe painted over a few cracks, but the structure is still falling apart. That's what most people are doing with their health. Taking pills, using creams, avoiding symptoms, but never fixing the foundation. Black seed oil, it repairs the foundation. It goes deep, and it starts turning back the clock. I've seen people take this for just 7 days, and their bodies start to wake up. Pain fades, digestion improves, sleep becomes deeper, the brain becomes sharper, the skin starts glowing. Why? Because you're no longer just putting out fires. You're rebuilding the house. This isn't hype. This is biology. Now here's where science is catching up. Studies show that black seed oil decreases C-reactive protein, a major marker of inflammation, inhibits inflammatory enzymes like COX-2, similar to how ibuprofen works, but without the side effects. It increases glutathione, your body's most powerful internal antioxidant, lowers blood sugar and bad cholesterol. Even has neuroprotective effects, meaning it protects and supports the brain Now, pause for a second and think about that. We're talking about one natural substance from a plant that has dozens of benefits because it's working with your body, not against it. And that's what our modern system has forgotten. You see, when you go to the doctor, they give you medications that suppress symptoms. Pain, take a painkiller. Inflammation, take a steroid. Acid reflux, here's an antacid. But all those are temporary. They're not healing anything. In fact, they're often causing more damage over time. But when you start using something like black seed oil, your body remembers how to heal. It starts to do what it was always capable of doing, but just needed the right support. And it's not just what black seed oil adds to the body, it's also what it takes away. It detoxifies the liver. It supports kidney function. It kills harmful bacteria and parasites in the gut. It reduces mucus and phlegm in the lungs. It even fights candida and yeast overgrowth, which are behind so many hidden health problems. You know what else? It helps balance hormones because inflammation doesn't just cause pain, it disrupts your endocrine system. And once that's out of whack, you feel tired, moody, foggy, and out of control. So imagine what starts to happen when that inflammation goes down. When your liver starts to function better, when your brain starts to clear up, when your immune system becomes stronger, when your gut starts healing, your whole body comes alive again. Now, I want to be very clear. This is not a drug. This is not some overhyped supplement. This is food, real, natural, medicinal food that your ancestors trusted and relied on for thousands of years. They didn't have Advil. They didn't have antidepressants. They didn't have blood pressure pills, but they had this, and they used it wisely. Now we're rediscovering it. Let me say this one more time. This oil is not a miracle, but your body is. And when you give it the right tools like black seed oil, it can do miraculous things. And the best part? You don't need to change your entire life to start. Just start with 1 teaspoon a day. That's it. You can take it in the morning, mix it with a little raw honey, lemon water, or just take it straight. You'll taste the bitterness. That's the power. That's the healing. And over time, your body will thank you. You'll feel it in your joints, in your skin, in your gut, in your brain. You'll feel yourself coming back to life. Now, does that mean you should ignore everything else? Of course not. You still need to eat clean. Move your body, get rest, manage stress. But this oil, it becomes your ally, your helper, your shield. And once your body starts getting back on track, that momentum builds. Healing becomes easier, pain becomes rarer, life becomes lighter. So if you've been living with chronic issues for 10, 15, 20 years, please listen to me. It is not too late. Your body hasn't given up on you. It just needs support. And this oil, it's one of the best supports you can give. Remember this, my friends. Health isn't about perfection. It's about progress. And every step you take toward healing, no matter how small, is worth celebrating. So take that first step today. Your body is listening. And it's ready. Stay strong, stay consistent, stay informed, and above all, never forget you are your own best doctor. God bless you all. There are moments in life when we think the damage is too far gone. When we wake up in the morning and feel that same stiffness, the aching in the knees, the pressure in the joints, the tiredness behind the eyes that no amount of sleep seems to fix. We get used to it. We start to believe this is just the new normal. Part of aging, just the way it is. But let me remind you of a truth you might have forgotten. The body is always working to heal you. Always. Every second of every day, your body is trying to repair, rebuild, and regenerate. Now here's the exciting part, and I want you to really lean in when I say this. Your body can start regenerating in just 7 days. That's right, 1 week, but not with synthetic drugs. Not with gimmicks, with something simple, something natural, something ancient, black seed oil. Now, I'm not saying this will solve every health issue in 7 days. No, healing is a journey. But what I am telling you, what I've seen in real people with real conditions, with real lives, is that this oil starts working fast. Why? Because it gives the body exactly what it's been missing. It calms the internal fires of inflammation. It nourishes the cells. It supports detoxification. It balances the immune system. And when that happens, the body kicks into healing mode. It's like flipping a switch. You go from survival to recovery. I've had people write to me saying, "Doc, I took black seed oil for just a few days and my joints feel like they're oiled up from the inside. I can bend, I can walk, I can get out of bed without wincing." They thought they had arthritis that would never go away. Years of degeneration, years of pain. And in just 1 week, they felt like the clock was turning backwards. Others told me they slept like a baby for the first time in years. They used to wake up groggy, bloated, and exhausted. Now they wake up refreshed, alert, clear-headed, and that's not by accident. That's the body beginning to regulate itself. One person said to me, "Dr. Mandell, my brain fog lifted like a curtain." Friends, you know what that means. That means neuroinflammation, swelling and irritation in the brain was going down. And when that happens, you get your clarity back, your memory, your mood, your sharpness. That's what black seed oil is doing. It's not just treating symptoms. It's not masking the pain. It's going deeper and it's doing it fast. Let me break this down a little bit because you know I always want to keep things grounded in real science. The magic inside black seed oil comes from a compound called thymoquinone. And thymoquinone is like your body's best friend. It's anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, immunomodulatory, and cell protective all in one. What that means is this. It stops the inflammation that's damaging your tissues. It neutralizes free radicals that age your cells. It helps balance your immune system so it doesn't attack your own body. And it protects your cells from further harm. Let's say you've got inflammation in your knees. That joint pain is coming from the immune system trying to repair damage, but overreacting. It ends up causing swelling, pain, stiffness. But when you bring in thymoquinone, it tames the immune response, reduces the inflammation, and lets the body do what it's trying to do, repair, without the chaos. That's why it's so fast-acting. You're not just throwing fuel on the fire, you're actually putting the fire out.
Now let's talk digestion. I know so many of you struggle with gut issues, bloating, gas, constipation, food sensitivities, IBS, and let me tell you, the gut is central to your healing. 70% of your immune system lives in your gut. If your gut is inflamed, your whole body is inflamed.
But black seed oil, it has antimicrobial properties. That means it helps kill off the bad bacteria, yeast, and parasites that don't belong. It reduces inflammation in the gut lining. It helps seal the gut wall, which stops toxins from leaking into the bloodstream, a condition we call leaky gut. And in just a few days, people report less bloating, more regular bowel movements, and better digestion. They don't feel heavy after eating. They don't feel foggy in the afternoon because now the gut is beginning to heal. And when the gut heals, everything else follows. Let me tell you about skin. Our skin is like a mirror of what's happening inside. When people start taking black seed oil, they often report their skin clearing up, glowing, feeling softer and more hydrated. Why? Because inflammation in the body shows up on the skin. Acne, rashes, eczema, dryness. When you reduce that inflammation from the inside, the skin naturally becomes healthier. That's not cosmetics, that's deep healing. And for those of you struggling with low energy, fatigue, feeling like no matter how much you sleep, it's never enough, that's your mitochondria crying out for help. The mitochondria are the little engines inside your cells that produce energy. When they're inflamed, when they're surrounded by toxins, when they're under oxidative stress, they don't produce enough energy. That's when you feel exhausted, mentally and physically. But black seed oil supports mitochondrial function. It clears the oxidative waste. It reduces cellular stress. It allows those energy engines to rev up again. That's why people start feeling more energized, more alive, more motivated to move, exercise, take care of themselves, because they're finally getting the fuel they were missing. You see how this all ties together? Inflammation goes down. Mitochondria gets stronger. Digestion improves. Sleep deepens. Brain fog clears. Joints loosen up. Skin becomes smoother. Energy rises. And it all starts to happen within days. I've seen people cry because they forgot what it felt like to feel good. And after just a week on black seed oil, they said, I feel like myself again. And that, my friends, is the most beautiful thing. This is why I'm so passionate about this, because it's simple, it's natural, it's accessible, and it works fast. Not because it's magical, but because your body is desperate for support. And once it gets it, healing can begin quickly. Now, I want to be honest. Everyone's body is different. Some people feel a difference in 3 days. For others, it might take 2 or 3 weeks. That's okay. Don't rush the process. This isn't a race. This is restoration. It's about giving your body what it needs and letting it do the work. And here's the best part. You don't need a massive dose. You don't need to spend a fortune. Just 1 teaspoon, maybe 2 a day. That's it. Take it on an empty stomach in the morning. Mix it with raw honey. If the taste is too strong, sip it with lemon water. However you do it, just be consistent. Because consistency is what creates results. Now let me say this again. This oil doesn't work because it's a magic potion. It works because your body is already designed to heal, and this oil just unlocks that process. So if you've been struggling for years, if you've been living in pain, if you've been told that this is just part of aging, let me lovingly challenge that idea. Aging does not have to mean suffering. It doesn't have to mean losing your energy, your joy, your strength. It doesn't mean accepting a life of pills and side effects. Your body still knows what to do. It just needs help. And help is here. So take that first teaspoon. Stay with it. Watch what happens. And as your body begins to regenerate, 1 cell, 1 joint, 1 breath at a time, you'll start to remember what it feels like to be alive, not just surviving. Stay encouraged, stay consistent, stay hopeful. And remember, my friends, you are your best doctor. How many of you have gone to the doctor for 1 issue and left with 3 new prescriptions? 1 for your blood pressure, 1 for your cholesterol, another for your acid reflux, and maybe they threw in an antidepressant just for good measure. And now you're not just sick, you're confused, frustrated, and tired of chasing your health like it's always 1 step ahead of you. Let me tell you something you may not have heard in a while. Your body was not designed to break down. It was designed to work in harmony. Every organ, every gland, every cell, it all works together like a finely tuned orchestra. But here's the thing. When 1 instrument starts playing the wrong note, the whole system starts falling out of tune. Now listen carefully. What if I told you that instead of trying to fix each instrument separately, you could reset the entire orchestra all at once? That's exactly what black seed oil does. This ancient oil doesn't just target 1 system, it supports multiple systems in your body all at the same time. That's what makes it so powerful, so efficient, so life-changing. Let me break this down the way I'd love to do, in a way that makes it easy to understand. Let's start with the immune system. We live in a world today that's full of stress, toxins, processed food, and environmental pollution. And guess what takes the brunt of that abuse? Your immune system. It's constantly working to fight off viruses, bacteria, mold, heavy metals, even your own inflammation. When it gets tired, it starts making mistakes. That's when you see autoimmune diseases. That's when your body starts attacking itself. That's when chronic inflammation becomes your new reality. But black seed oil, it's what we call an immunomodulator. That means it doesn't just boost the immune system like some stimulant, it balances it. It helps your immune system know when to turn on and, just as importantly, when to turn off. That's the difference between chronic illness and vibrant health. I've seen people with rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, eczema, all autoimmune in nature, start taking black seed oil, and within weeks, they feel like the fire inside them is cooling down. Their joints feel looser, their skin clears up, the fatigue lifts. That's not magic, that's balance. Now let's talk about the cardiovascular system. You know how many people are on blood pressure medication right now? Millions. And many of them still don't feel right. Their numbers might look okay on paper, but their hearts are still at risk. Black seed oil naturally helps regulate blood pressure and cholesterol. It relaxes the vascular walls, improves blood flow, and reduces oxidative stress on the arteries. It lowers LDL, bad cholesterol, and triglycerides, and raises HDL, good cholesterol. You know what that means? A healthier heart without the side effects. Your circulation improves. Your oxygen delivery increases. Your brain, your muscles, your organs, they all start receiving what they need. And that brings me to the respiratory system. So many people today are struggling with sinus issues, allergies, asthma, congestion, mucus buildup. Your lungs are your life force. When you can't breathe deeply, you can't live fully. Black seed oil has bronchodilating properties. It opens up the airways, it reduces mucus, it soothes inflammation in the bronchial tubes. I've had people tell me they stopped wheezing, they slept better, they woke up without that tightness in their chest, all from using a teaspoon of this oil every day. Let's not forget about the liver, your body's filter. Everything you eat, breathe, drink, and absorb, it all gets processed through the liver. But most of us are walking around with overburdened, sluggish livers, and that leads to skin problems, hormonal issues, and toxic overload. Black seed oil has hepatoprotective effects. That means it protects and rejuvenates the liver. It helps regenerate liver cells, supports detoxification, and even protects against damage from medications and alcohol. I've seen liver enzymes improve dramatically. That's the power of nature doing what pharmaceuticals try to mimic, but without harming something else in the process. Now, I want to talk about something that touches so many people silently, the nervous system. Anxiety, depression, brain fog, mood swings, neurological decline. Friends, this is more than just feeling off. These are signs of neuroinflammation, and they're more common now than ever before. But thymoquinone, the powerhouse compound in black seed oil, crosses the blood-brain barrier. That means it can directly enter your brain and start fighting inflammation where it starts. It boosts neurogenesis, helps protect neurons, and may even support dopamine and serotonin regulation. I've had people tell me they feel calmer within days, that their thoughts are clearer, their sleep improves, their moods stabilize. That's not a coincidence. That's the brain receiving real nourishment for the first time in years. And the digestive system, oh boy, this one is huge because the gut is the foundation of everything. Your immune system lives in the gut. Your hormones metabolized in the gut. Your neurotransmitters produced in the gut. If your gut is inflamed, leaking, or imbalanced, it creates a ripple effect through every system in your body. Black seed oil has anti-parasitic, antibacterial, and antifungal properties. It helps clear out the bad guys and supports the growth of healthy gut flora. That means less bloating, more regularity, improved nutrient absorption, and fewer food sensitivity. People with candida overgrowth, they start to feel relief. People with IBS, their cramps ease, their bowels regulate, and they begin to feel peace where there used to be chaos. You see how interconnected this is? One oil, supporting the immune system, the cardiovascular system, the respiratory system, the liver, the nervous system, and the gut, all at the same time. Because healing doesn't happen in silos. Your body doesn't operate in parts. It works as a whole. And when you support it holistically, the healing is faster, deeper, and longer lasting. I even want to mention skin and hair because they are a reflection of what's going on inside. People who start taking black seed oil report stronger hair, less shedding, thicker growth, clearer skin, fewer breakouts, and even fading of stubborn scars. That's because inflammation is going down, collagen production is going up, and your body finally has the tools it needs to rebuild itself. Friends, I want you to understand this deeply. This oil doesn't treat diseases in the way modern medicine does. It supports the system that heals the disease. That's a powerful distinction. We're not chasing symptoms anymore. We're empowering the body. We're feeding the cells. We're calming the immune system. We're balancing hormones. We're restoring the gut. We're clearing the mind. It's a total body shift. And when the whole body begins to reset, you feel it everywhere.
You walk differently. You breathe easier. You think clearer. You sleep deeper. You wake up with purpose. You look forward to your day. That's the kind of transformation people are experiencing. And it starts with something as humble as a teaspoon a day.
Let me remind you, this isn't some miracle product from a lab. This is a plant, a seed created by nature, used for centuries, revered across cultures, validated by modern science. And now it's being rediscovered at a time when we need it most. So if you've been trying to fix one system at a time, your joints, your digestion, your hormones, and it feels like a game of whack-a-mole, please hear me. You don't have to chase your health in pieces anymore. You can support the entire system. One seed, one oil, one step at a time. Just like I always say, stay consistent, give it time, listen to your body, and don't be surprised when the changes come quickly. Because once the healing begins, your body remembers what it was made to do. And remember, my friends, you are your best doctor. Don't underestimate the power of simple things, especially the ones that have stood the test of time.